broadcast on Happs. Multi-streaming to Periscope and Twitter, and apparently even my YouTube. So how good is that? How good is that? This is the broadcast that really had to be done. I need to get back out walking, and I need to get back streaming. With Periscope ending, it's time to find somewhere else, and maybe Happs is the home. Maybe Happs is the home. But the problem for me is that on Periscope I used to get all these extra viewers because I was in the travel channel. But on here, Elspeth's here. Oh, my first viewer. Oh, you're on Periscope. I think that blue bar means you're on Periscope, right? You're watching on Periscope, so I guess that means this broadcast through to Periscope. That's good. Thank you for saying hello, because there's no notification of who's joining. So yes, I'm multicasting to Periscope and Twitter, which I don't know, I presume is the same thing for now. Black-eyed dog, hello. Peter Unplugged, thank you for joining. Oh, Peter Unplugged, you're even on the Happs app, right? So I can see who's. Oh, and Black-eyed dog. Oh no, Black-eyed dog, you're on Periscope, right? So I've got a few people on Periscope. Can't see how many viewers anywhere, but here we go. Yes, I'm multicasting. So presumably that means Elspeth couldn't see Peter Unplugged just saying hi, Simon. But Peter Unplugged can probably see. Am I switching to OnlyFans? I'm considering it actually. Yes, I believe you can. Excuse me. Oh, so look, anyway, this is my normal walking place, but they've been doing a lot of work. Oh, there's a new entrance into there. Yeah, you can. That's true. You can go live on OnlyFans. So I should give it a try. But the problem is I've got no subscribers. Maybe I need to make it free. No audio, really? Can't you hear me, Pete? People can hear me, right? Can anyone hear me? Oh, I've got gloves on, so it's a bit hard for me to type. Let's see if I can. Yeah. Yeah. Me. How do I send? Can go, you hear me? Look at this path. It's a long time since I've been down this path, and it's full of mud. But I should be just walking straight through it because I do have. G'day, Rupe. Good to see you. Contact Pete. Hello. Peter can't hear me. Well, you might have to go and watch on. You might have to go and watch on Periscope, but I guess you can't hear me say that. And you can't see anyone else's comments. Try. I'm not. That's too hard. I can't type Periscope. Try Periscope. Sorry. Well, we'll just have to. Hopefully, you'll work it out for yourself. Maybe maybe that worked. You can mute yourself as a broadcaster. I just muted myself and unmuted myself, so maybe that helped. Now I'm in trouble because I've got a comment. I'm trying to type filling a screen. Don't know how to get rid of the keyboard. That's a bit sad. And I can't see any comments. Okay, I had to type a comment to clear the keyboard. Oh well, it's a fun experiment. Anyway, let's just enjoy the view. Salam alaikum to my friend typing in Arabic. Merce Nurse, hello. Merce Nurse, can you hear me? Good to see you here. But I wonder if you can hear me. Peter Unplugged was watching on the Happs app, for those of you on Periscope who couldn't see his comments. Michael Ad, I can see your comments. You're watching on the Happs app too. I can see your comments now. I was trying to type a comment. Can anyone hear me? Can anyone watching on the Happs app actually hear me? Peter Unplugged was here and he couldn't hear. Is this where the Periscope community is headed? Who knows? Who knows where we're heading? But I guess it's got to be done. I've got to try out these things. Heard some people love Happs, some people hate Happs. I'm yet to be convinced. And to me, you got to go where the viewers are. It's very. Oh, a horse running. How do I zoom? There's some way to zoom on this, right? Oh, I thought they said they added zoom. What does that thing do? What does this button do? Oh, that's the zoom button. Right. It's pretty hard to press in my buzz. Maybe I don't know. I hate apps too, yeah. That's probably an unfortunate thing. Apps, choosing an app name is very, very important. Yeah, it's a slide bar. Yeah, I can see. Like I'm wearing gloves, which have got little contacts for the screen, but it's hard to hit the little button. So you'll just have to join the overview. Here's you are. Anyone on Happs here, Simon? Yes, Peter. So yeah, someone tell Peter Unplugged that they can hear me. You must be able to because you heard me talking about Zoom. Thank you, Michael. Oh, look, there's lots of deer in the field. That's exciting. I'll probably have to take my glove off to work out how to zoom. Gosh, I haven't seen so many for a long time. But first, the gate of germs. Oh, good day, Nina. Something running around in there as well. I can hear in the bushes. This is the gate of germs, by the way. Something leaves no fingerprints. Oh, the gloves, yes, leave no fingerprints. No, it's fucking cold. It's minus 2 degrees Celsius. That's why I'm wearing gloves. Okay. I got to try and. How do you call in? I think you have to be invited to call in. You can't invite yourself. Okay, I've got my one hand free to zoom. There we go. Well, at least you can't block. You don't have mute on. Yeah, I don't know, Pete. Restart the app. I can't tell you how to do that. Oh, I can type now. Apparently. Oh, how about that? Well, that's good, I guess. The app crashed, but I could come back. I nearly started a new broadcast, but I saw my old broadcast in the list. Hello, Peter from Sydney. So selective. What's selective? So I tried to tap on a comment to reply, and it crashed the app. So I won't be trying that again in a hurry. That was one of the new features they just announced, I thought. This deer's trying to catch up. Hi, Ava. Oh, Ava, out to see. Good to see you on Happs. So yeah, I think if you want the full experience of this, you've got to be on the Happs app. Otherwise, you can only see half the comments. But I guess you don't get the audio if you're unlucky as well. So it's all a trade-off. You might restart again, right? So you've already restarted if once it's, at least it seems. Anyway. Okay. So what else can I do? All right, I have to add people through there. Okay, let's go back to wide angle and go to Le Passage. Nurse is so named, Le Passage. Now the problem is getting a glove on. Oh, where's my... I'm stupid, hang on. I'm really out of practice. I've got my jobby in my pocket. I'm not even using it. Dear, oh dear. Now I'm gonna... So I'm just covering the camera with my... So that means... I don't know if that makes it easier to... I guess it does. To hold my phone while I... Is that a rabbit? Ah, there were deer over there, Ava. Nurse, yes, here we go. So how's the picture, by the way? How's the picture? This is going to test it because I've got... sometimes we get low signal along Le Passage. And I was hoping to go on the big... high five award. Thank you, Miss Nurse. 10 cents for Le Passage. Yeah, no way, Michael. I'm not inviting you again. I like this about Happs, that you can't just dial in. Ah, Zach. Zach's here. I don't know. I presume it's Zach 1. Did you start on landscape? I did. There's a button. I think it might be new. Oh, I've never gone that far, but yes, there's a button that says, do you want to start on portrait or landscape? And then you've got to, as I was setting it up, I had my phone in portrait, so it was still oriented as if it was portrait, but it said, there's a little icon that says stream landscape on here. It says my signal is great. I've got 4 yellow bars, been live for 12 minutes. Yes, good. No. Someone's losing their eyesight. Yeah, no, we've all got a laugh. Look, they finally cleared up this tree. The golf courses are closed again for our 3rd lockdown. This is the 2nd strongest. Yes, oh good. Okay, so I'm apparently live on YouTube. Haven't seen any comments. G'day, Rupe. Oh, good from there. Glad to hear. That may have been a question from half an hour ago when I asked what the video quality was like. Apparently I'm live on YouTube, so that proves that if you've got at least 100 viewers, which entitled 100 subscribers on YouTube, you're supposed to be able to go live on computer, but not on mobile. But so we've tricked them. Better and worse. You've got to investigate. Yes, Jack, please investigate. There's a squirrel, but I'm not going to zoom in on it, sorry. So here it is, it's winter. It was minus 1.7 degrees on the thermometer at home just before I left. My app said it's -2 and feels like -4. This is ridiculous for me. Right, so good to see. A few comments going backwards and forth between the viewers on Happs. Yeah, I think I wouldn't expect to multicast, because the problem is, whilst the people on... You still can't hear me, Peter. Oh, well, thank you for trying, even though you can't hear this. Now the scope said Happs TV has poor stabilisation. Yeah, so what's the stabilisation? Oh yeah, maybe you've half blocked me, Pete. What's the... Yeah, tell me about the video. I guess I'll have to watch the replay. I hate watching my own replays, but I might have to. So it's a bit of a different scene. We've got a bit of frost sitting. I'll have to do manual zoom, just hold the camera closer. Bit of ice on the brambles. Try and focus there. That foreground. That's it. No, still not quite. Picture quality is good. Okay, so off down the golf course. I'm going to do my normal lap. But yes, it's interesting how we get used to the things Like I remember when the bubbles first came in on Periscope, a lot of us didn't like the bubbles, and now we miss them. I certainly miss seeing when people join, getting a message when people join, because I want to be able to say hello to people. It's one of the best things to welcome new scopers, new viewers. Anne Rush, good morning. Good to see you on Happs. I'm trying it out. Something that has to be done with the imminent demise. Well, a couple of months away, demise of Periscope, I guess. Apparently, supposedly, now I've got a flood of, thank you, Contact Pete, take care. Lots of crap. Yeah, there's lots of rubbish on the screen here, if that's what you mean, Pete. I don't know how, have I got some of the early Happs broadcasts I saw, they have a goal of how much money they want to make in the broadcast. I didn't see that in the preamble to going live, so I don't know whether I have a goal set or not. But I'm not really here to. Yeah, right. I don't know how to block them. Really need to have a block feature on multicasting before I go live again on Happs. Anyway, yeah, so I need to start trying out these things. I haven't scoped for probably a month, I guess it's been. So, I guess, yeah, ask for me. May as well. Oh, Brett, hello again. Who's Brett? Did I see Brett? Hello, Brett, whoever you are. Anyway, yes, I need to. It has to be done. I have to get out walking again because I found I've put on 4 kilos since July, which was in the peak of my walking, my summer walks. Oh, Brett Walker, hello. You can mute off-platform people at least if you tap on the comment. Well now, Brett, thank you for joining. Lovely to have you here. I did try to tap on someone to reply to their comment and it crashed the app, so I've been a bit scared to try that again. But yes, as I said, in the long term I wouldn't expect to be multicasting anyway, unless there was some way possibly to make sure the comments flow both directions. But I guess thank you, Anne. I worked it out. There's a nice logo there showing who Brett is now that I see his comment. 4 kilos seems nominal, yeah, but the problem is it's not. I now weigh 99 kilograms, so I've never been over 100, so I don't want to be over 100. Well, fair point. It happened once, but I was actually glad to see, Brett, that I could rejoin my same broadcast. That was good to see. So I presume people just got a break in transmission for a little while. So anyway, here we are. I guess I should concentrate on where we are. So we're now at the 4-way intersection. We've just come down the hill here, across the golf course, down the public footpath. We have a choice of continuing on the public footpath, or we can turn onto the public bridleway, which goes that way towards the COVID lab, or this way to the loop around the mansion and back into the forest, which is where I'm going today. And yes, I'm going to go this way, even though I haven't got my horse. I think you're allowed to go on a public bridleway even without a horse. Yes, Peter Unplugged is a prominent scoper, and I think it might have one of his first times trying being on Happs, and apparently he has no audio. Looks like he's restarted a few times. He's pretty tech savvy, so I think he'd worked out if there was a mute app, but it does a mute button that he's pressed. Take some solace that I'm a thin American. Mute is not on. Yes, and so Pete, I've forgotten the name. Sorry, who's the Oh, so Brett. Oh, what have I done? Oh, I did press on someone as I was trying to scroll back through the comments. This is non-journalistic nature, exactly. Yes, it is. It is. Very good. Very good. Yes, that's right, Peter. So to Brett, Peter said that he has restarted the app a few times and he has been able to watch replays of other Happs broadcasts and they're showing fine. Almost killed Brett. I could have. Oh, Chris Rossetti subscribed. Thank you, Chris, and hello. Yes, the thing I miss most in this, everything else I can deal with. There we go. I've got poor signal showing now. So before I had 4 bars, but now I've got 1 bar. Now back to 2, fair. That's interesting. That's good to watch, actually. That's a nice feature. But the thing I miss most is the little messages that tell me when people join the broadcast. Because I like to greet people, say hello. Oh, I'm getting flashing on the screen. Maybe that means there was an interruption to the signal. Stop motion video. Yeah, well, that's pretty normal along here anyway, right? The real question for me is that able to cope at least as well as Periscope. Everything's tickety-boo on such a lovely day. Look, it's minus 2 degrees. This is a bit cold for me, but I haven't been out walking and I haven't been broadcasting for probably about a month. Well, I haven't been out walking properly like this. Been out with the kids and a few things. As view, I can't type without majority obscuring the view. Yeah, I think they do seem to be playing with the layout. The comment layout as a broadcaster is pretty good, I have to say. Yeah, so the thing I miss most as a broadcaster, well, the zoom's a bit clunky, but in some ways I'm sure we can just get used to it. It's difficult with gloves on, but that's the way it is. Raider, good to see you, Raider. Thank you for commenting. Oh, my signal says it's great, but I just got a little flash on the screen again. So maybe it's reconnecting at a different bit rate or something, as it detects different signal strength. Yes, I'm an Aussie, Chris. I am. I'm an Aussie in the UK. Been living here for 6 years. Had 2 children born here. But I'm not used to the cold weather. I don't usually go out walking. I remember the first time I ever went to the snow as a kid in Australia, and it was like 3 degrees or something. And we thought it was just so cold. Couldn't imagine what it was like. Couldn't believe that it was just so cold. Which is a bit crazy, because I guess it gets down to 3 degrees in Melbourne, my hometown. Thank you, Rada. Yes, the family are good. Yes, this is back to my normal walking loop. I should try and at least do this once a week on a weekend, because as I said, I've put on 4 kilograms over the squirrel up there. Flashes of bitrate changes as we try to cope. Right. Yeah, well, fair enough. That's okay. You can't expect it to work perfectly when there's variable network conditions, and people like me walking around in fairly low signal areas are the people who test it. So yeah, I'm a software developer myself, so I understand the challenges. Yeah, and people say, I guess what's important for me as well, the type of broadcasts I do, is video stabilization, because people on Periscope would often say, oh, you're using I can't even think of the name of it. What's it called? Those gyroscopic stabilizer things. People were always thinking I was using one of those, but I said, no, it's just my iPhone 11 Pro Max Plus Super Duper, whatever it's called. built-in stabilisation, but people say, yes, this is my first time. Gimbal, that's it. Thank you, Michael. The lag's not too bad on the comments. That's manageable. Thank you, Chris, also. But yeah, it's just a built-in stabilisation that always seemed good enough for me on Periscope, although I have heard people say that the stabilisation isn't as good on Happs, which I'm a bit surprised because I would have thought it was built-in iOS processing, so I don't know why that would be. Maybe it's something to do with how the codec works. Bernie, hello from Melbourne. Oh, I'm missing Melbourne right now in this -2 degree weather when I've got to get out and exercise, walking through the mud. Oh, I didn't show you my new boots. Hang on, let me get in the light. This was part of my attempts to motivate myself to keep walking. I got some proper leather walking boots with lots of grip. Oh, sorry, I don't think I showed you that properly, but I don't want to fall over in the mud either. Peter, I can see your comments here on Periscope, but I think you can't see the comments of people in the Happs app. For example, Chris Rossetti just commented, I lived in Melbourne, Florida for a time. And Anne Rush said, Simon Pickup, have you tried Twitter for broadcasting? No, I haven't as yet. This is the first time I've broadcast since the announcement. You know, as much as we've got to expect change, and Periscope, we have to admit, was on the way out for a long time. I probably did affect me a bit. I was not very inspired. We use low-level software stabilization right now, as the high-quality iOS stuff was causing some audio desync. Hopefully you missed that. Okay, thank you. Good to hear the detailed answer. Thank you, Brett. Yeah, I think on Periscope there was, or is, I guess, at least for now, an option to turn image stabilization on and off. So, and the talk was that you would turn it off for a nighttime scope because it affected the sensitivity of the effective sensitivity of the broadcast. Oh, you just have stream from Heathcote. Oh, I like Heathcote. My ex's parents live in Heathcote. Charlene Hatzbert, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting so I know that you're here. Oh, I'm trying to scroll back through the comments. And many of our journalists use hardware gimbals that can fight with software stabilization. Oh, yes, I imagine that could well be the case, Brett. Makes sense. But I'm having a lot of trouble using. I've got my gloves with a few tips that I very rarely use, but I'm having quite a bit of trouble scrolling up and down. Oh my God, it's Simon. Yes, see. Salam alaikum. Sabal khair. The best. 20 acres. Oh, awesome. Which side of Heathcote? So my ex-in-laws are on the southwest end of the town. I forget. Oh no, I remember the name of the road. Herds Road. Thank you, Charlene. Good to see you. Are you moving over to Happs? The Melbourne side, right? Yep. Same side. Oh, well, they're probably not too far from each other then. Yes, this is my usual loop, my baseline loop that I take variations from. But my first time trying Happs, and we shall see what happens. Certainly good to have you here, Brett, and answering lots of questions. And I see that you're making changes. I guess different people want all sorts of different things, and you can't always please everyone. Anyway, we certainly all used to whinge about Periscope changes anyway, and Periscope bugs. So, hopefully we can be patient enough, and hopefully your pockets are deep enough to be able to do what people want. Yes, Charlene. Well, I've been lurking for a while, and I was prompted to go out when I finally got on the scales for the first time since July and found that I have, as expected, put on a bit of weight, 4 kilograms to be precise. No, actually, to be precise, because it's 4 point something. And so I have to force myself to get out walking, whatever the time. But yeah, it's very hard. Very hard to do at this time of the year. In summer, I was getting up before the boys woke up at 5 o'clock, doing a sunrise. Good on you, Brett. Well, yeah, I do genuinely hope that you. Sounds like a woodpecker over there. Stop pud shaming. No, well, Charlene's into the motivation. Can you hear the woodpecker? I did not turn on the high quality audio option. Squirrel up there. I'm not nimble enough to zoom quickly wearing my gloves. Anyway, I feel like I was in the middle of saying something and then got myself distracted. Oh yes, I was talking about Happs. You know, I'm interested in the. Well, yeah, maybe I should ask you, Brett. How do we find out about the business model for? Yeah, seeing. A pop-up reconnecting, and yeah, it would be great if the video didn't disappear, but at least, well, I think at least I'm seeing your comments, whereas I never know whether my audio comments are getting through. Maybe I should just learn to type as well. So here we go. Now this is more like it. This is the mud that I remember. One of the first times I ever walked through, I remembered there was a lot of mud in here and I had to walk up around the bank, but it hasn't been here for a while, but now we're back. Yes, so as I was saying about the business model of Happs, so it obviously started off as an independent journalism platform, and understandably is making great efforts to pivot to attract a lot of the crowd from Periscope, but which obviously costs a lot of money in the changes they're making to the platform and also in the extra bandwidth, not necessarily meeting their original goal, I presume. So interested how that plays out financially. I presume they have investors at the moment, because no one presumably makes enough money from just a few cents being sent around here and there, and I think probably most of them are just the cents you get from rewards for signing up or whatever. So I don't see a lot of real money changing hands. All we need is love. Ka-ching. Oh, Brett said something that Mike. Oh, now it's happened. There we go. Might be back again. Vine creators didn't end up well. Well, that's the right. But I mean, to be fair, all of these mostly free platforms come and go, right? We have to expect that. So we shouldn't get too invested. Business model based around rewards and sponsorships. The model and direct relationship between broadcasters and audiences. Awards and sponsorships. Right, so yes. Fine. Interesting. I hope you're well, yes, okay. Enough said. I'm trying it out. Let's see what happens. At least I can walk straight through the mud with my new boots. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any red ones. Getting back to the road. If you wanted to go deeper on that, sure, Mark's there. Okay, well, thank you very much, Brett. Yes, I have to give you all credit for being very approachable. Not that I have made any approaches, but everyone I've heard says you're very responsive to direct communication, which is lovely to hear. Certainly a big change from Periscope. Although, I guess, Periscope had almost this sort of feel, not that I was really involved, but at the start, they were obviously very responsive, and then it gets hard when you get big. And I'm sure being absorbed into Twitter didn't help. Yes, Charlene, give yourself a plug. I was going to try and describe what you broadcast, but I'm sure you can do it better. So, junction on the public right of way, public road. Oh, let's go. Well, I guess we need to go and visit the pile of poo. Oh, Brett, that's what I wanted to know. You can tell me this. What are the I haven't read the guidelines on community standards and so on. What level of adult content are we allowed to have on here? I'm not going to take my clothes off. I only do that on OnlyFans, but I like to have a bit of banter and do curse a bit and so on. So I don't want to get banned on my first day for saying something I'm not allowed to. Look, here we go. This lovely pile of POO being growing, getting ready for the summer. We've got nice steam in there. Can't try swearing again. Yeah, do you get maybe a few strikes? What's my opinion about Trump being banned from Twitter? Oh, look, it's a difficult decision for them all. There has to be a point. Well, no, I think I support their decision, I guess. Swearing's totally fine. No hate speech, bigoted stuff. Okay. Well, the only people I hate is myself, and I'm bigoted about myself. I'm trying to be as self-deprecating as possible, and no deprecating or defecating on the viewers. I'm sure you've had this request as well, Brett, but as a viewer, my request would be to, in replays, not that I often watch replays, But like some of your informational broadcasts, I have been watching to try and find out what's going on. And it would be lovely to have the comments synchronized with the video playback. And maybe when you're watching the replay, for the comments at the start to be shown first at least, because the one I watched yesterday, I just gave up pressing load older messages. Okay, I can adjust some moderation filters. Good. Happs too jerky. Oh, g'day, Roland. Hello, Roland, in watching on Periscope. So I've got lots of people watching on the Happs app. I think I don't expect to be multi-streaming in the long term. I'll if I'm going to continue broadcasting on Happs after Periscope's closure, it'll be just Happs. So I guess you get the best experience and supporting Happs the best if you come on their app. Oh, Randy, hello in Cebu City. Hey, back in the Philippines. Must be just. I think I've seen you driving around in the Eastern Province. My broadcast's flickering in. I don't space. Oh, speaking of the extend button, so I usually watch on iPad, and I've heard hearsay that iPad is not one of your top priority platforms, which I understand. But the extend button, well, it doesn't seem to do what I would expect it to do. I would like some way for it to extend, either hide the comments completely or extend the video under the comments. Because if I'm watching a scope like this, I want to be able to see it in as full screen as possible. See how Twitter goes. My streams go on Periscope and Twitter simultaneously anyway. Well, that's true, Roland. I haven't broadcast much recently, but yes, I mean, the natural thing is to go to Twitter Live. But my thoughts on the business side of this, as I said, I haven't tried broadcasting on Twitter Live from the Twitter app, but I presume if Twitter found Periscope too much trouble or too costly, then Twitter Live is only going to be worse. They're not. I don't see they have much incentive to improve the Twitter Live experience, because if they, for example, Discovery on Twitter Live is their platform for all the stripper girls. So which is presumably what Twitter was trying to get rid of, and didn't want to bother or didn't want to invest the money in the people required to police that. Yes, I am. I've connected all of my social media accounts except my Facebook, because the last thing I want is for my family and friends to see this. But yes, I'm connected on Periscope and Twitter and YouTube as an experiment, but I don't really think that suits my style. I mean, if you really are doing journalism and more of a broadcast, a less interactive broadcast, then it makes sense. But if you want interaction between viewers, it really doesn't make sense, because, well, it doesn't make sense with the limitations that there are, that you can't see all the comments on all the other platforms. Yes, the platforms are getting confusing. Yes, they brought in. Yes, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that new company, Roland. Yeah, and presumably they're going to try something else, and maybe. But I think the best and the worst of Periscope was that it was very interactive, and that it was easy to find. Discovery was very easy. And those two things mean that the girls who, or boys who are wanting to sell themselves can just recreate a new account, do whatever they like, maybe get blocked, and then just repeat, right? And people can find them again. Whereas, well, I guess, yes, Roland, I mean, I presume the unsuitable streamers, as you say, will come to Happs as well. And, but I guess it's like there's no global list, so you can't find them. If you're a horny guy or girl looking around for scantily clad girls or guys, on Periscope you just scroll through the global list. On Happs there is no such thing, and I presume one of the benefits of that is that you only find people who are somewhat connected to you. Yeah, thank you, Charlene. I haven't been hearing people, to be honest, I haven't been paying too much attention to many broadcasts, except a few people that I just watch all the time. But I haven't really been following the discussion about going to Happs. But my thoughts are you have to go to the platform where the new viewers are going to find you. It's one thing to go with all our buddies to Happs, or to think we can just do Twitter Live, because it's the same. But and sorry if I'm definitely not reading all the comments today, because I can't easily scroll wearing my gloves. Yeah, actually, why can't Happs show more of the comments? It's only showing, I'm broadcasting in landscape, and the comments are only going halfway up the screen before they disappear. Yes, exactly, Ava. Recently I've always had the boost of being in the travel channel on Periscope, so got a lot of passing traffic, so to speak, which was a good thing, right? I can welcome them in, and if people like what I'm doing, they come back. When I was doing it every day, it was great. But yeah, it's going to be, I've never put a lot of serious work into growing a viewership, but and I'm unlikely to, I think. Yeah, there's no global trending list for Happs. There sort of is a trending list, right? There's the Discovery or something. Oh, Roland Millwood's just subscribed to me on Happs, so I get a notification of that during my broadcast. Well, that's nice. But yes, as I said a few times, I'd like to be able to see when people join the broadcast. It's going to be hard to stop saying scope. So we can help grow the community by welcoming people. Just passing Chick's cottage. When I walked past here in summer, there was often someone sitting outside having their coffee and reading the newspaper. But not today. Welcome, Roland. So now you should be able to see all the comments of people on Happs and the comments from Periscope, and if there are any from YouTube, well, I doubt anyone's watching from YouTube. So yes, to me, it's where, it's great that everyone's supporting each other and following them over to Happs or to wherever people are going. And for the people we really like to watch, we'll go and watch them anywhere, right? I can get notifications on Happs and on Twitch and on Twitter and on OnlyFans and on whatever platforms, right? Good night, Rada. Take care. Good to see you here. I've been seeing you popping up on lots of broadcasts, getting lots of notifications. Yeah, to be honest, I haven't been watching too much because of the viewing experience is not that clear. Yeah, so this is the thing, right? See, I've been watching less because it's not that easy. Not that part of that's just getting used to something else, I'm sure. And well, yeah, maybe I'm contradicting myself. I'll say people can watch on multiple platforms, but you've got to get used to them too. The thing is, you've got to find new people, right? Broadcasters are going to disappear and viewers are going to disappear. We've got to get a constant flow of new broadcasters and new viewers. Otherwise, things just stagnate. Hard work watching movement. Right. Yeah. Well, sorry about that. Oh, Ronnie. Hello, Ronnie. In Limassol. Now, what? Limassol's on the west coast, right? So you can't even gaze across the sea towards Israel, can you? Yes, it's time to exactly. I mean, yes. Whilst I understand Happs pivoting to try and capture all the people coming out of Periscope. And it is a big challenge. And I know as a software developer myself how hard it is. You make optimizations based on certain use cases, and that's not that easy to change. It'll cost them a lot of money and a lot of time. So I wish them very luck, and I'm here trying it out. And it's certain. I have to say, it seems to be the front runner. It's likely where I'm going to end up, as that's where the critical mass of people is. But I do wonder how the new viewers going to find us here. Do you hear people in the street saying, "Oh, I just downloaded Happs to go and find some guy walking around in the forest"? I don't think so. Yes, Ronnie, I have been to Cyprus 2 or 3 times for business, and yeah, I love it. I love it. It's one of the places I would like to go back. I haven't. Oh no, Limassol is the airport, is it? Limassol's down on like the south. Is that right? So I've been to the capital, Nicosia or Lefkosia, isn't it? I think in Greek, and I've crossed across into the Turkish side twice. Oh, so I must have been 3 times, I guess. No, maybe twice. I don't know. Good on you, Roland. Have a good day. Thank you for joining. Yeah, please don't stream your shower. James Little, hello from Glasgow. Hello back to Glasgow. Thank you for saying hello. If there's anyone else watching here who hasn't said anything, please say hello. I think there's a little button you can press to say hello to where you're from. So it's always nice to know that you're here and watching. Don't have to say anything else, but good to have the feedback and good to know where you are. Larnaca is what I've been. Yeah, and one day I did go for a drive. Yes, I don't know where Limassol is actually. Because Paphos is the one that I was probably thinking of out on the west coast. Limassol's not, is around that, I don't know. I'm showing my ignorance the more I say. But I did go for a drive up through the mountains, and there was amazing monastery somewhere up in the mountains with views down to the west coast. I didn't really get across all the way to the west coast, but had lovely views across there. Yes, it's good to know the viewers are alive. And I've collected 85 cents so far on this broadcast. Actually, the good thing, I have to thank Periscope for doing this and Twitter. The good thing is that I only fairly recently turned on my super hearts on Periscope, and I never met the threshold. But when they decided to close down, they reduced the threshold, and I've now been accepted as a broadcaster. I'm just waiting to be paid. So, oh, you live in the mountains, great. Oh, Brett, hello. Thank you for the 50 cents as well. I've collected quite a lot of money by opening Happs every day. I don't think I've given a cent of it to anyone as yet, but I presume I can't cash it out. My my first trip to Cyprus, I got locked out of a building after a business dispute with our partner there. That was funny. Now, anyway, here we are at the shoe tree, looking very bare, but Lots of shoes. Oh, and it's flashing again. Ava, you don't want to know about the COVID-19 situation in Britain. Excuse me, I'm coughing. I've probably got COVID myself now. The furthest I've been out of the house for the week, other than to go to the shops. Is my it's a little red robin there, jumping on the tree. I would zoom, but I can't do it with my gloved finger. Flown away. Yeah, it was my first ever business trip with an Australian company. I flew all the way over to Cyprus to work on some tender, and we had I was meeting them about this and that, and I had to consult back with the bosses in Australia about things, and our local guy didn't like it, so he said, "You've got to get out." He sent me out, took me, escorted me out of the door, locked it behind me. No, I'm not eligible for vaccination. It'll be a long time before I'm eligible for vaccination. The priority, yeah, okay, so, all right, COVID in the UK, so it's pretty bad. We're in lockdown again for at least 6 weeks, although it's a pretty soft lockdown, even compared to, I mean, they say it's like the one in March, but there are lots of exceptions. This time it seems, places of worship seems to be open, a lot of recreational spaces like botanic gardens and so on seem to be open. The show trees to keep the crows away. Oh, maybe that's a good theory. There are lots of exceptions in the lockdown, but well, so far it doesn't seem to be helping. Although I understand there's obviously a big lag, and I think it's 1 in 60 Londoners now have COVID. So we're just outside London, and it's not that bad, but it does feel like it's just going to run through the whole society before the vaccines get to take enough effect. But yeah, I mean, the UK is vaccinating pretty fast. They say they've done more vaccines than all of the rest of Europe, or all of Europe put together. 1 in 30 in parts of London, I think. But yeah, it may be 1 in 15 by the time I end this broadcast. It's happening so quickly. Yeah, so they're vaccinating pretty quick, but I'm not in any priority list, and nor I should be. Ironically, the last in the priority list is over 50s, and I'm turning 50 in May this year, so I may well get to 50 before they get to the over 50s. Right, yes, I think it's south or east London. I forget the suburb that I saw some headline that it's 1 in 30 people in some area of London. Yeah, it's really bad. Well, of course, here they're worried about the supposedly more contagious strain that's now got itself to Australia. I guess they don't really know that it's more contagious, but the fact that it's now the dominant variant strongly suggests to me that it is. 1 in 5 people, yeah, it's something like that here as well. The testing rates are amazing now. Yes. It's I mean, I've been a supporter of strict lockdowns, but it almost feels like we're at the point where we just give up and let it wash through, because there is a lot of harm from lockdowns as well, I have to admit. Well, this is nearly getting to the end of my walk. I've been through the forest. Oh, I have a lingerie tree that I sometimes feature on my walks, so I presume that's appropriate content for Happs, but I didn't go that way today. We're just about done, and this has been good. Oh, I've been live for 1 hour and 2 seconds. So I like that. You can see how long. Yeah, right, all the super spreader events. I did see some headline last night that we still haven't seen the effect of Christmas gatherings here yet on the numbers. So if to the extent that, well, in hospitals, yeah, okay, so people would have caught it by now, but they may not have got sick enough to go to hospital yet. So the hospitals are, well, anyway, whatever. Yeah, the panties are back over in the trees over there. For those who don't know, as I walk through the tracks in the forest here, I saw these clothes hanging on the tree, and I've walked past them a few times without investigating, and then when I went in to investigate, it's a whole lot of women's lingerie that I actually reported to the police, and they thought, well, why the fuck are you reporting this to us? What do we care? Don't be a prude. But and I wasn't really worried about it, but you never know, it might have been the clue they needed, for the evidence they needed for some crime. So there we go. This end's looking pretty cool over here. Let's go and have a look back. This is my manual zoom method. Actually, it makes me walk more, the fact that I can't easily zoom. Although, I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't be zooming on Periscope either with my gloves on. I may be accidentally muting people. So that's pretty cool. Look at that. Got some nice ivy decoration around the... Yes, pants to that report. Exactly. This is a pornscape usually. Yes, and I do have, for anyone who's stupid enough, you can always follow my OnlyFans and pay me some money and see nothing if you like. But no, I'm thinking of deleting my OnlyFans. If no one's going to join, I'll have to delete it. As someone pointed out, this is not good. Probably not doing good to my future employability. So here we are, back where I started. A walking track where I went off around the loop, and I agree, Charlene. It does feel a lot gloomier, this lockdown. Although I don't think people are taking it more seriously either. I think there is a lot of fatigue. It feels like there's a lot more traffic on the roads than there was in the first lockdown in March. So this is the Boulevard of Bye-Byes, where I usually finish off before I head back into town. And yes, it might look like I walk around just in the countryside, but it's actually a real town. It's called Woking. I don't know what's the location telling you on here. I had to enable my location. I noticed when I broadcast. Although I manually entered. When I signed up, I had to manually enter my location, and the closest I could do was London. But yeah, so I don't know what, I presume. Well, it's good to enable real location to confirm really where you are, but I don't know what it shows. Yeah, more people out and about, which doesn't bode well. You know, everyone thinks that one little activity that they do doesn't hurt, but lots of one little activities add up to extra risk. And I guess that could be said of my walk as well, but that's why I like to walk early in the morning when there's very few people about. So here we are, we're at the end of the boulevard. It's a bit messy here at the moment. It's not quite as tranquil as we would like, but the bare trees. Thank you everyone for joining. If you see me go live on Happs next time, which I probably will, make sure you join on Happs. Oh, yeah, thank you. That's good to know, Brett. I like to have my location on anyway. I'll have to explore the settings now because I do like to know all the settings. It does say Woking. Oh, that's good. Because when I entered in my profile, Woking wasn't in the list. So either it uses a different database or it's been updated since I signed up. But yeah, we'll work it out. And thank you, Brett, for being here and for your support and responsiveness. And I do hope that you can deliver all the things that people are asking for. And I hope this is our future platform, because it is lovely to have someone, yourself and others, so responsive. So anyway, yes, join me on Happs directly next time. I may not even broadcast on, I may do one more simulcast out to the others, to to say where to come and find me. I don't know. Hopefully I'll be walking and broadcasting more again. We shall see. Okay, take care, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good whatever you're doing, and see you again soon. How do I stop this thing? Big X and broadcast. Bye.